happy 1st of May to you all. I have been using this cordless collection for the whole of April, and well, the Makita, bless it, has pretty much no suction left, but has been doing all right. These three will just need the usual light looking over. Let's have a look at how I got on and how the Makita got on, and see what you've all voted for me to use for May. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and cordless chums. How are you today? To be quite honest, the month has been made mostly bearable with this lovely contraption. Although I did drop it the other day and the battery took the entire top cover of this Vacs head off. But it still works. It is very hairy, doing what Vaxes do best, this era of head. We've done countless videos on blessed good heart, but it turns this into an absolute monster. If you're a tradie and you've got one of these, you want to make yourself one of these. And blimey, you leave your customer's house cleaner than you got there. They are amazing. Right, well, we'll pop the tower of power to the side. We'll start off with the easiest really, which is Lay Wizard. Because yeah, I have made sure to use him more. Twice a week he's come out and I've done a really good deep vacuum of everywhere. I mean, we've had him a couple of years now, bless him, and people often ask me, it's starting to become a little bit more known about, although they still cost an absolute flipping fortune, is that yeah, they are good, but not with their tools that they come supplied with. Pneumatic put a really crappy version of their toolkit with these. Sadly, it's the same crappy version toolkit that they use on all of their commercial machines. So the conical hose is not standard. These wands are not standard, and in fact these wands in particular are from a Vacs, which make it a little bit taller than it should be, but it's fine, I get on with it. What I do recommend are these rubber cuffs. I put one on here mostly because it was the only one I had, and it's actually quite nice because you know, you can mould and grip around. It's great for using as a cuff, as a pneumatic often is. So having a pneumatic anything as a daily is pretty decent indeed. Inside we have what is actually a fairly new bag because I cleaned up some pretty smelly stuff out of well, both my grand's garden and then my garden. Once we sucked it up in this, we cleaned her water feature out, and it was bone dry but full of mud and snails. So up it went, took it a treat. So yeah, new bag. No point doing anything with this. Told you it wouldn't take very long. It's just been another great month. It's had a good bit of exercise. And it just continues to be an excellent machine. Certainly gets its fair share of things. In fact, what we can do is clean off this brush head. But I'm trying to use this less as a bench vac, so we won't use this. We have a bench vac, we need to use a bench vac. So we shall use my very nice, you'll probably see these in upcoming videos, 1960s MK socket. Oh, it's already on, look. Nice old school clickiness from my grand's house. My great grandparents would have bought these, had them fitted, have been very happy with them. This is our new testing socket in the same place as the old testing socket, but there's now two, so I don't have to plug somebody else into a different room. What good fun. It's getting a little bit crusty in its edges. It's always the corners that get full of fluff. If you strip these down and very gently waft it over a wire wheel, it does come out a treat. So that is, in my opinion, that sorted. I cannot be bothered to de-hair this right now, but this also is fine. So marvellous pneumatic done. What has the Makita been like? Well, ironically enough, it sucks up better on the hard floor with this head on turned off than it does with this. This sort of gulps quite nicely, and when the machine had good suction, it was really nice indeed. So yeah, it's been used, it's It's a bit scratched. Yeah, it's a hard floor only head. As you can see, I've made sure to not empty this for about a week and a half. It's not going to focus. And yeah, it is very, very full. There's pretty much no airflow. On the machine standard setting there, a little bit. But look, you can see all the dust swirl around. And because it's so full up and clogged up, I've just been smashing it straight into the highest power setting because these little 2 amp hour batteries seem to last a fair little while. I get at least a good week out of them. And even then I look at it, check the battery and go, oh, it's got a bar left, and then just charge it. My biggest theory is that this isn't actually what's really causing our problem, because it's so basic that, you know, there is no filter. That is it. You get a shroud with one of Peanut's feathers in it. And then look, this lovely sort of swirl that I've just ruined of dirt. There is a lot of dirt in that tub. And I'll be completely honest, it's only picked up this amount of dense fluff because of that Vacs head. That Vacs head is amazing. I've made sure to get lots of bits of wire and stuff in there, as this thing should have. So let's get that cleaned up. And then all of the fine dust that isn't here, going to be on the filter. And I think that's what's causing... Oh yeah, I took the battery out. So, how is it broken? Oh, no. Okay, that's promising. There is more airflow here than with that fitted. So hopefully the fact that, you know, you're very much not supposed to fill it up that high with actual dirt. If that was just full of rubble and screws and bits of wood, it'd be all right. We should probably find ways to adapt this to fit normal stuff and have a bit more fun with it over the years. Although, from knowing people that have tried, it does get very overwhelmed and does kill a little bit of the airflow. I haven't opened this all month. I pinky promise you. And yeah, there's all of the fine dust. I mean, there is some stuff in here. I used it to clean the desk a couple of times. So, oh look, there's perfectly reusable piece of heat shrink there. Marvellous. It did save me, actually. I lost a clip for Hoover Junior U1104 carbon brush holder, those stupid clips that Hoover replaced the nice screws with. Yeah, it was in there. It was fantastic. Worked fine. If I'd used a vacuum that you'd all voted for, it would have been destroyed. Yeah, this is its filtration. And yeah, this is where, I mean, all the airflow went. It's to be expected. This thing was designed to be a sawdust on there, not actual dust. So the fact that it did okay is pretty remarkably good. Fantastic. So that vacuumed up very nicely. I probably will wash these so that when I put this away, it's really nice and clean. I was ploughing this through a couple of cordless Dysons, making a nice little mound of dust. You know, this is a commercial vacuum cleaner. So yeah, it has been smashed through some stuff that it's normal fare for my house. So yeah, the dust was excessive, but it had earned every little bit of that dust. So fantastic, all that can be washed. So yeah, surprisingly very nice. Obviously this helps an absolute treat if you had carpet. Well, to be fair, you wouldn't have had a horrible time with this, but it would have been worse. Right, on to our robot overlords. Hopefully, when the AI uprising happens, we have proof that for years I have loved and nurtured and given homes to these things. Right, what have we got? Roomba. It's doing okay. Battery's getting worse again though. I think it's going to need replacing soon. We shall take out the month's worth of hair from the brush roll. Very nice. We did do this last one, didn't we? Remind me down below. There's the other brush roll's worth of hair. There's a little bit on there, I think. That's all we're going to need. Just had my nice speed run montage ruined. Yeah, look, there's more hair. Oh, behind this bushing. Oh, problem is this bushing didn't come up. Good old force works every time. Oh, I do not like these brushes that we got. As soon as they're completely dead, I shall perhaps spend a little bit more on the next set. Although it's probably just what they all do, isn't it? This one's the worst. Must just be something about it in the order it's in. I mean, yeah, in there's full of fluff as well. Don't care. We're just going to give it a little tiny service and hope that the Dreame is doing a little bit better in terms of hair. Oh yeah, and we got to get that ready for the next thing. We got to tip this out and marvel at the amazing amount of dirt that and again, all of the sand. I don't know where this comes from. This is only upstairs. This is sand. There's probably the backing of the carpet being beaten out of it. Then the Dreame. Is it being a dream? It is. Again, down here, it's not a deep cleaner. It's always is the opposite in its effectiveness on the carpet than this is. But on the half floor down here, it's amazing. Oh, we have got to it in between it doing a self-empty. I only give it a self-empty once every couple. And well, there is a dried out baby wipe blocking the brush roll. So didn't warn me about it. It's obviously still spinning the brush roll. Here is our filter. Probably the worst part of this machine in terms of how it keeps itself clean. If you truly did not touch this, probably would be dead by now in terms of its filter. Because yeah, it again picks up a good bit of dust. It does better on the hard floor because it can sweep it up. So yeah, it does very well. Get lots of bird detritus because it's great. I need to raise the bird cage up by that much and then it'll probably pass under it. Maybe that's a summer project. gets it done to its underneath. Oh wow, double trouble. We have a nice piece of string wrapped around there, so we'll get and some hair underneath. This shouldn't have as much hair because my daughter doesn't really brush her hair down here. So oh yeah, look, it got caught in these metal bits and then just couldn't do anything. It probably would have been shredded up and passed eventually. Oh yeah, lots of hair on this brush roll, bless it, lots of hair and lots of fibres again from when it's just picked up after I've done other vacuum repairs. So that all needs a good clean and everything else is going on pretty normally. I've just noticed this. Behind this catch, or rather behind the little flap that opens with the suction, is a magnet. And oh, you're going to focus? Look what it's caught on the magnet that sits and holds that flap together. There's screws, there's bits of metal, there's all sorts in there. That's something to bear in mind, isn't it? If you hoover up rubbish like I do. Mind your magnets. And with both of the robot vacuum cleaners serviced, working well once more, and ready to clean dust in their respective areas of the house. Oh, the Dreame won't like this. Dreame will be freaking out because it's not where it should be. And the Roomba doesn't care, look. Oh. I think the Roomba's just thrown a navigation error. That has just got on with it fine. Right. We are going back to the Victorian age for the month of May with a vacuum cleaner that has some sort of strange thing trailing out the back of it. I've got to plug it into a wall. I can't be more than like 12 or 13 feet away. However will I cope? But this rug's about to get a very nice deep clean. The poll-winning vacuum of choice for this month is this, the Maytag bagless twin chamber. A very nice choice indeed. Thank you all. It's going to be quite nice using a Hoover Elite again for a month, but a bagless Hoover Elite. Oh dear, oh dear. And I do, there we go. I cannot fail to note that we left it dirty the last time we played with it. We cannot have that, so we'll have to get the Victor back out in a second. But otherwise, I think this thing's pretty much as we left it before. I sadly put that crack in its top cover. The whole thing's going a little bit faded, I cannot deny, but I think otherwise it's pretty much ready to go. Yeah. Nice brush roll, the remains of the after video still attached to it. Perfectly fine. Indeed. Yeah, we are going to have to put, oh yes, we put the weird filter saver on it. Oh, did it save the filter? This is going to work because yeah, we're going to be using this month. We want to make sure that it is going to, I reckon it might. I think I have to give it all the vacuum off now that I've disturbed it, and then we can at least start the month knowing that it's clean. And I am just going to tip it out when needed. We won't go mad with the filter. I won't knock it off. We'll just dump, carry on. If it even fills up that much, because this thing's got quite a big max line somewhere. I don't know. Where is its max line? Oh, that means I can go right to the top. Fantastic. we go. Of course I keep my toys nice and clean when I finish playing with them. We can take this thing, look at this poor little Hoover Senior 6525E videos coming soon. Watching on in horror at this modern contraption. This must be what the farmer felt like in Back to the Future when Marty McFly appeared on his farm. Right, does it still work? Oh yes! Oh, I forgot to drag itself along. Yeah! Look at all the filth. This is what a month of just having a robot vacuum cleaner and a drill hoover does to your floor. I'm not going to disturb this filter now because the problem is these filter savers are a pretty good idea. I do get them. And in this machine, where the air is being blown onto it, this is still a dirty fan vacuum. I hope it's going to be even better because it's not being sucked through the pore that way. It's not being sucked through the pores. It's being sort of blown onto them like a fart. So it may be better. We have tools. Oh yeah. Barely any difference if you put it into the tool mode or not, just like a dirty fan hoover upright. It does also have a hard floor mode, which is going to be as grim as it sounds. We should probably test that out as well, although again I can still cheat with the pneumatic cordless and our new, thanks to Mr. Parwas, cordless vacuum of daily, which we shall get onto next. But let's do the birdcage. I'm sure the fact that hard floor mode is the same as carpet low power mode means this is going to work absolutely perfectly. Actually almost good. It didn't, or I didn't see it, throw anything out of the back, and that is always what I fear most when using an upright on this flooring, because it doesn't suck up the lino. That would help as well if you weren't unfortunate enough to have full laminate flooring. We do have a crevice tool though. don't know what it did, but it did something. The dirt is now not there. Some of it is in there. What more do you want? Fantastic. This is going to be perfectly decent enough to smash around for a month and have a bit of fun with. But, I mean, normally I have a cordless machine here. And yes, we will, because I put the Green Oak GSE60 away. Thank you very much, Green Oak, for sending that along. My honest, frank, here and now opinion, it's a very nice machine. Hasn't really ever gone wrong. Superbly easy to clean, as you've seen for the past 6+ months. It's a bit bulky. The battery hanging off the back isn't as nice. I don't think the floor head is as nice as the GSE50 was. There, I said it. And then I was taking Mr. Tayyab to a vacuum cleaner collector's meeting, and he said, would you like to have a long-term lend of a cordless vacuum cleaner? And I went, what better time when, do take care of my things. What better time to long-term test a machine that he didn't fully get on with it. It didn't like his carpet, you know, and you cannot say fairer than that. So what do we have? Well, in this bag of tools, we have a crevice, oh I see, a crevice tool with an angle. That is nice for one of those. Horrible as a whole. And we do have a flexible end too. The crevice tool isn't really thin either. Green Oak gave this tool out with the 60 and it was too thin. I mean, I did use it with great effect to get some dirt out from a glow plug hole in my car, but it was just too thin really. And judging by how covered in dust this is, I mean, Mr. Tayyab has used this, of course, he takes great care of these things. I'm sure this thing hasn't seen a lot of dirt at all. It's a good sign, isn't it? We have, that's nice, a combination dusting brush and upholstery tool from Hoover. Who better? Double, we're going to call this a Hoover because it pretty much is in spirit. We have a charger, and then we have, quite frankly, this is astonishing, a completely different separate bin that you only use where you need to do the tools. You disassemble half of this machine and just put this onto it, and then it's a handheld. What thing has Mr. Tayyab given us a long-term lend of? His Hoover HFX. A very strange machine indeed. I am very much looking forward to using it as an upright vacuum. It is lovely to hold. The controls just come to your hand. Oh good, it has got battery in it. Not long though. The controls come to your hand. It is very nice to use. Then you push this button and it speeds the brush roller. And that becomes really amazing. It likes this floor. It'll like the laminate. I'll turn that off because it's only got 10% on it now. It likes the laminate, and we're going to hack it in a minute as well. So it's very good. I quite like it. Push down on here, and the whole machine comes away from the head. Obviously, you do that standing up, not sat down, talking to a camera. And then you have this. What's it called? Corner Genie. I did watch Mr. Tayyab's video, and this thing, again, is probably going to be better here because my corners are smooth. The Corner Genie will roll around very nicely on my corners. If you have carpet, if you have carpet, suddenly the Corner Genie is like using the Green Oak upholstery tool. Not particularly pleasant. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get on reasonably well with this. It's very strange though. That just sits there flopping around. And it just pops itself on there. That is exactly what you do. I'm done with using that now. Clip it back onto there. The next bit, I haven't got my head around yet. So to empty this, you hold it halfway up, push the buttons, and do that. But, open. Oh, there we go. I didn't do it forcefully enough. So you do that, and again, it probably hasn't been used that much, bless it. The whole bin opens up. So there you go. Close, back up. Marvellous. That is your bottom. Don't start making noises. Very nice. That is your floor cleaning done. Then, what do we do next? That's it. To carry the thing, so if it was docked like that, that is legitimately how you hold or store the machine away, you just split the entire thing in half and then cock it back up like an armoured weapon when you want to use it. Then, no wonder these probably aren't going to be that popular. To use it in handheld mode, you push this button and take the entire motor head bit off. And this is where you get double the filters to clean every month. This clicks into there. Well, that's just... Ooh. And it knows, it smashed itself straight into turbo mode before it smashed itself onto the floor. I cannot promise you how much I'm going to use it in this handheld mode. Because as interesting as it is, I do like vacuum cleaners that stand up by themselves. And this does just feel like an unlike. I mean, obviously it's going to have some horrendous, horrific shortcomings. All of these do. But one of them, I'm hoping we can bodge almost here and now. Let's have a look at the floor head. So, we have ourselves a floor head. And I keep on glancing at this flipping sticker and going, yeah, look at the state of the brush roll. But it is just a sticker. The actual brush roll, which you can barely see because this front cover is so heavily tinted, sits here. Very cool indeed. Yeah, put it out. Fairly easy to clean. Look, it has the default standard anti-hair rat cones, which are full of Mr. Tayyab's probably garden, so that's fine. That's not our fault. Then you end up with this thing. Now, this does make the Green Oak GSC 60 brush roll feel amazing, and obviously the 50 is even better. You have these two. These are the stiff brush strips, and they're not stiff. This is the soft brush strip, so it just sort of, oh, excuse me, Dirk, could you move over there? And it's probably what makes these machines a complete awful experience to actually use on carpet. However, I discovered that you can do a little hack, which we're going to do now before we even start the month, and then I can see how it goes during. So you take your Hoover HFX Brushroll and you remove the very decent looking bearing. Then, just like pretty much every cordless vacuum cleaner, you can remove the original brush strips. That would just be a BT brush roll. Very cool indeed. But then what I discovered is that you can take something like this and it just slots straight in around the little corner. Get the bend started and it soon goes. Come on. Did this really easily. I did this the other day. Yeah, give it a bit of help. There we go. Bit of a helping hand. Look at that. We have a much stiffer red brush strip on it. I mean, much stiffer is an understatement. It is a lot stiffer than this. It's a bit shorter, granted, but a lot stiffer. Maybe it'll work. Where do these come from? Well, if you have a Dyson parts graveyard as big as mine, you'll have lots of these. What's fun with these? Well, if you take some destruction givers and literally take a big bite out of this brush roll, these red strips just come out, and then you can slide it into here, although you do have to cut the very edges down on these, which matches these OEM ones. They've got a little step in them just so it doesn't rub itself to death on the edge of the end cap, which is fair enough. We're going to do it. You probably could leave it. It's probably going to destroy our edge cleaning capabilities, but I don't think this machine is going to have fab edge cleaning anyway, not if it's got an entire gimmick that you can use to clean the edges instead of the brush roll. Around the corner. Then it's very long. See how long that is? This is incredibly wasteful, but I've got tons of these brush rolls, so I don't care. So we're going to snip there, and then put it back, and that should centre itself enough. One more brush roll. These are those Dyson V7 ones, I think. Just don't fit anything else other than the specific head that was made for like 3 weeks that takes them. So I'm no real big loss. We're going to finish snipping this off. Cut these two ends off here. You know where to look on like AliExpress. You can probably just buy this stuff by the packet, just like you can with the felt strips. Oh, there we go. Bring it back a little bit, chop it off. These snips are awful for this stuff, to be completely honest. oh, you know what, you're going to sort yourself out at the end of the month. And before you know it, we have pretty much fixed the thing that Mr. Tayyab didn't fully like about it in the first place. The fact that it has pretty mediocre grooming. We're going to keep these because, let's be honest, this might not work. Could be some really obvious reason why you don't do this, and I've just wasted a brush roll or two, but I don't care. They've been sat in the shed for weeks and weeks and weeks. It doesn't matter. We're going to clip the machine back together, and then we're going to take the main unit, which I've had on charge for that 5 minutes, and we'll see if it's any better. Well, it's on its default setting is a really slow brush roll. So that's not doing a lot. If I push this mode button here, it spins it faster. Well, I think they're doing something more. I can hear it more. If I stick it in turbo mode, it's a lot better indeed. It's still not fantastic. Maybe this rug is a bit crap. It might be better on general carpet, but I'm most excited with this machine for the hard. Get these few seeds up here, because on its default, on its default low power, low brush roll setting, it's really quite nice in the hard floor. Very nice indeed. Obviously we can turbo it. That really does pull the dirt in. Yeah. Wow, look at that, look, just after that little go around the floor. I think this is going to be quite nice, certainly for the floor, and we're going to find out. Because it's just going to be my cordless for, well, many months really, I don't know, until Mr. Tayyab wants it back, until another company send me something else that needs reviewing, because the problem with these cordless, oh my goodness, I've got all this tangled up. Problem with these cordless machines is that you do need to use them for a lot. Could I have told you that the Green Oak GSC 60 rubber wheel coating perishes after 6 months? No, I probably couldn't have done without using it. Could I have told you that the GSC 50 works surprisingly well for its small size without using it for a couple of months? Absolutely not. So Mr. Tayyab pretends to have got rid of a machine. I get to play with this without fully owning it. Yeah, we're going to go at least a couple of months having this as the cordless and to see what happens, because it's a very interesting design. I do love cordless machines which stand themselves up. It's just not done anymore. And as much as we all love the Vacs Air Revolve, no, not Air Revolve, the Vacs Air cordless thing with its standing up machine, it as a machine is absolutely terrible. This should be a bit better. It's modern. It's by Hoover Better. What do you think? Do you have one of these? Am I about to make a grave mistake? Or might it actually be okay? This I'm rather looking forward to. Upstairs is going to get a very good beating of the carpet. And again, this poor little Hoover Senior 6525E just doesn't know what's going on. All of these modern things bearing its name or family connection. What happened, mate? What went downhill from when you were made? Well, this stuff here. But that is it for this month. Thank you for choosing the Maytag. Thank you, Mr. Tayyab, for lending me this. And this will be done and gone, and there'll be an after video soon enough. Happy May. I hope you had a good April. Tell me in the comments below if you got up to any vacuum cleaner related shenanigans. And until our next ones, I and all of these will see you soon. Bye bye. Look, the Hoover Senior is cordless as well, so technically we have 2 cordless vacuums in the shop, although arguable that this probably won't work as well without a flat.